Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. So I'm a hot mess, but we were trying to rush out and get out the door because I want to take the kids to see Santa, but we were in line the other day and it was ridiculous, and we were there for like an hour and the line did not move very much. So I'm taking them on a weekday right when it opens. I'm trying to get there a little bit earlier. Baby is crying, but that's her outfit. My sister is almost ready. She's getting fixed up, but yeah, let's hurry up. Okay, so we made it to the mall and it starts at 10 and it's 9:45, so I think we're pretty good on time. We rushed out the house. We were supposed to have breakfast and there was no time for that, but it doesn't seem to be packed or like there's many people in the parking lot, so hopefully that's good. But we have the baby and we forgot the stroller too, so we're just gonna have to carry her around. Okay, so we got the pictures and I did not know that we needed to get reservations, so I didn't get it, but luckily they were doing walk-ups after reservations and it wasn't too bad the wait. I think it was only like, okay, so I was saying before my battery died, we were supposed to make reservations, but I was not aware of that because I thought you just walked up into the line, but apparently you can make reservations. And we were like the first people there, so I was like, oh, might as well just try to make a reservation since there's already people here and maybe, you know. But we want to go make reservations and it was like already, like it's booked for the entire month already, so there's like nothing available. So I was like, no, we're not gonna be able to take pictures. And yeah, I was like devastated. But they had like a line for only walk-ins, so that's what, Jesus, these shadows, that's what I ended up doing. So we were able to get our pictures and Evelyn slept through the entire thing. I'm gonna insert the pictures right now. But another update is we have all of our Christmas shopping done and we wrapped almost all of our gifts. This is what we have going on so far. We have all these gifts right here, some bags right here. These are bows for the gifts, basically none. This is not a gift, but I'm using this as a box because I have some more gifts I need to wrap and we ran out of boxes. And the stores have like none, so we're just gonna do what we can. So yeah, that's what we have going on so far. And then another thing is Angel finally got to use his little baby thing. Get up, stand up. The child is in, turn around this way. She's in there like chilling, and she's been in there for like a long time, huh, without like fussing or nothing. Yeah. She likes it. Do you like it?
Yeah.
How do you feel in it? Is it comfortable?
Yeah, kind of.
Does it hurt your back?
Yeah, my shoulder is like right here.
Yeah, when I was wearing it, my lower back was hurting. So today is Monday, Tuesday. What? Tuesday? Yeah. And Christmas is on Friday, and
your car's gonna go to your mom's house. That's
fine. Oh yeah, and then I lost my bank account, and I'm gonna give you guys a little story time real quick.
Your credit card.
Huh?
Your credit card.
Yeah.
Not your bank account.
Oh, I lost my my debit card, and I think I always lose it, but I feel like this time I actually lost it like for realsies. So I'm just gonna.
That's what I did for you.
You got me a new one?
Apple Pay.
Oh, you put Apple Pay on my phone?
Yeah, and I got you a new one. 5 to 7 days.
5 to 7 days?
Yeah. What do you have, dude?
What am I gonna do with no money?
Dude, I put Apple Pay.
But.
Any money, just go to the ATM, pull out with the Apple Pay.
Anyways, the other day I was having some aftermath from having a C-section and I got really freaked, so we went to the emergency room because I was in a lot of pains and a lot of weird things were happening to me. But I'm not gonna really go into detail because that's not the point of this story. Basically what happened was Angel went to go take me to the ER. We brought my sister to take care of the baby, but they weren't gonna let Angel in unless I got a room, and I wasn't looking like I was gonna get a room because it wasn't that serious. So I told Angel to go ahead and just go home and take care of the baby with my sisters so they wouldn't be alone, because they don't really take care of her by themselves, so they don't know how to take care of her like well, you know, they're not trained, so we could help each other. And I was in there for like a long time, and then they needed to do an ultrasound to make sure I didn't have any cysts, I think is what they said. I'm not really sure. I was like half asleep already. but on the paper it said it could take up to 5 hours until I was able to get the test, and I had to do urine test, blood test, and all this stuff. So I was just like, you know what, Angel, just, you're better off at the house taking care of the baby than just sitting in the parking lot. So Angel goes home and my phone's about to die, and Angel brought a charger, and he walks it up to the security person, and he tells them if they can hand it over to me so I could, you know, have my charger. So Angel does that, he leaves, and then I'm there and I don't get my charger at all. And I'm like, I'm asking this nurse, I'm like, hey, someone dropped off a charger for me. Do you think I could, like, do you know where I could find it or where I could get it? She's like, oh, let me go ask. And she's like, oh yeah, a nurse has it, but she's on break. When she comes back, we'll let her know to give it to you. And they didn't give me my charger, and like 2-3 hours passed by, and I asked this other nurse, I'm like, hey, do you know where I could find a charger that someone dropped off? She's like, no, I don't know nothing. Maybe try asking another nurse. And then I asked another nurse. She's like, maybe you could try asking a security guard, see if they have it or something. I go ask the security guard. He's like looking for it. He's like, I can't find nothing. Maybe he dropped it off at the wrong entrance. But Angel doesn't know the hospital. He only knows the entrance where he dropped me off, and he dropped it off at the same place he dropped me off. So I knew I was at the right place. He's like, and they're like, oh, maybe try calling him, see if where he dropped it off. But I couldn't contact him anymore at that point because my phone had died already. So then I'm at the hospital for like hours and hours and hours and hours, and I can't contact anyone. And then so I'm there for a while, and then they tell me, oh, you have an infection, you just need to take these antibiotics, but just be careful to make sure you take them, or then it can be serious if it's not treated or if it's left untreated. So then I'm like, all right, well, I gotta go home. So then I'm like, hey, can I like borrow you guys' phone to have someone pick me up? They're like, yeah, sure. I was like, oh, do you think you could look up my emergency contact, because I don't know anyone's phone number and my phone's dead? And they're like, yeah, just give us a sec. So then they're doing that, and then they're like, okay, yeah. And they're like, they didn't really let me use the phone. They were dialing it themselves, and they didn't want to give me my sheet with my information. So then I call Angel. Well, they call him, and they're like, oh, it went to voicemail, but you could go ahead and leave him a voicemail. And then I left him a voicemail, and they're like, if you want, we could try it later. So then I go sit down. Mind you, I had been at the hospital for 8 hours at this point, about 8 hours. So then I call him like an hour later, and he answers. I'm like, hey, can you come pick me up? Like, I'm right out. He's like, yeah, I'll go right now. So then, you know, I check out, I am discharged, and then I'm waiting for Angel, and I'm there like waiting. I went to go wait outside because I'm like, he's gonna be here in a few minutes, and if I'm inside, he's not gonna be able to find me. So then I'm there outside waiting. It's freezing cold, and I'm waiting. Angel's nowhere to show up. And then one of my nurses that had been taking care of me, she's like, are you getting a ride? I'm like, yeah, they should be here soon. She's like, do you need to call someone? I'm like, can I try calling him again? And then I call Angel again, and I'm like, hey, like, are you almost here? Like, what the heck's going on? And he's like, yeah, I was just doing something. And Angel is like, he went to sleep from the first time I had called him. He went back to sleep, and I was there waiting for like an hour and a half. And then I call him again, and he's like, yeah, I'm almost there, I'll be there. And then I'm waiting, and it's like a long time, and he's still not there. So then I'm like, whatever. So I start walking home, and it's like, how long of a drive is it, Angel, to the hospital?
Like 20 minutes? It's
a 20-minute drive. And so I start walking home, and it's like freezing, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll see him on the way, you know, like I'll like run into him or something, or he'll find me. But no, he did not find me. I kept walking, and then I got lost. I freaking got lost, and I did not know where I was. My phone was dead. I had no charger, and I had no money because we had gone to Burlington that same night, and I had left my card in some other pants. That's where I lost my card. And well, I can't find my card. I don't know where the heck I left it, but yeah. So then I'm walking, and I'm walking. I'm like, where the hell am I? Like, I did not recognize where I was. So I keep walking, and I'm like lost at this point, and I'm like scared, like crying. I'm like, I have no idea what to do or where I'm gonna go. I'm never gonna see my baby again. And I start freaking, but I'm just like, whatever. I just keep walking, and then I don't know, I just kept walking straight, and then I recognized the street I had gone and lost before on, and I was like, I remember the street. I had told myself if I ever was here again to just do this, so I would, like, I had memorized a way to not get lost, you know. So then sure enough, I ended up finding like the street, and I'm like, oh, thank the Lord, this is it. And then I'm like, I recognize like some streets. I'm like, thank God. And I keep walking and walking. Guys, I was so desperate. I was gonna ask my stepdad for a ride, and I cannot stand that man, but I was freezing. I couldn't even feel my legs, and they were numb. And I'm still like, literally the next day I was so sore for my legs. It hurt so bad to walk. And then I'm walking, and I'm like literally almost to like my mom's house where my stepdad lives. I was probably like 20 more minutes away compared to like, I had been walking for 2 hours and like 30 minutes at this point. And then I run into Angel finally, and I was like mad at this point. Like, I had bought him a monitor for Christmas, and in my head I was like, when I get back home, I'm gonna break that thing. I'm gonna throw it at him. I'm gonna turn it into pieces, into ashes basically. And then Angel, he finds me, and he's like, get in. And I'm like, no, don't freaking talk to me. And I'm like yelling, and then there's like people staring at us, huh? And then he's like, don't make a scene. And I was like, don't talk to me or I'll make a bigger scene. And I started like yelling, and Angel's like carrying me, and I'm like dragging myself on the floor. He's like, dude, they're gonna call the police. I'm like, good, hopefully they take your ass. And then what happened after that?
You got in.
Oh, I got in because he told me not to make a scene, and then I chilled down for a little bit. But tell him what happened. Tell him your side.
Oh my god, so...
Well, come over here. Okay. Angel's gonna join the party.
Okay. So I told her I was busy, but in reality I was sleeping. And, well, I went, right, the second time she called me. I went, but I didn't realize she had gone out like at 4, and I went like at
7.
5.
No. It was 6:56 when you texted me, I'm here. You could check your phones. You literally showed me.
Dude, just round down, it's 5.
Round down.
Okay, 5, and then I get there, right? I get there at 6. No, I get there at 6. What time did you leave?
I left the hospital at 6:53, and he got there at 6:56, but he didn't see me anymore.
Yeah, okay, whatever. And I see her, I went to ask the guy where I dropped her off. She was like, I'm like, oh, I came to pick up Mary, so she's like, oh, we took her out since 4 in the morning, so like, I don't know where she's at. Like, she was walking around the hospital, but
I wasn't walking around. I told Angel that I was like, they had sliding doors, so the way with COVID and everything, they have like doors kind of in the entrance but not inside, because when you check in outside, huh? So then I was like in between like inside and outside, and I was in a chair, and I was like looking the whole time through the windows to see if I would see Angel's car, but I didn't move at all. I was there the whole time.
Well, they're like, oh, she was wandering around, but we lost sight of her, and then they couldn't find her. I told her to check around. They called her out. They couldn't find her. They couldn't see her, and they're like, oh, maybe check what's that? Where they give birth. I'm like, all right, I'll go check real quick. And then when I check,
it's because it's a really big hospital. They have like a bunch of entrances, huh?
Yeah, and then they're like separate hospitals, like separate,
yeah,
like in the
like
same area, but like
also
separate buildings. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went to go check there, and they're like, oh no, she's not here, we haven't seen her. And then I went to go check another one, the cafeteria, and they're like, oh, she's not here, we haven't seen her. So I go back, and then they're telling me that they don't know how like she got lost or whatever. Like, they're like, oh, maybe she called somebody else, somebody, her phone was dead. And they're like,
yeah, I had to borrow the phone from I had called from the hospital twice, and then some security guard let me borrow their phone, and that's how I was able to call him the second time and the third time.
well, yeah, and I was like, well, where could she have gone, right? I was thinking, and then I called Giselle. I was like, oh, look for her last location on her iPad, and it showed in the hospital, so that was useless. So I got in the car, and I started driving around like the parking lot inside the hospital. And I started driving like around the hospital. Maybe I saw her, and I'm like, oh, maybe she went out to eat or whatever, right? Then the closest restaurant was Del Taco, so I went inside to check, and I didn't see her. And that's when I checked Carlos Jr. And I'm like, damn, alright. But then I need to go to the bathroom, and I couldn't go inside the hospital, so I was like, alright, I'll just drive home. Maybe she walked home, and like I'll see her on the way there. And I'm driving there slowly, looking around, and then I find her, dude. And
yeah, but the reason he didn't find me sooner was because I got lost and I took a different turn, huh?
Yeah.
And then the only reason he found me was because he was almost home and I was almost home, so we kind of like met. Like, yeah.
If you would have taken the right way, I would have seen you.
No, but I got lost, I'm telling you. What was I supposed to do if I don't know streets? But yeah. He left me there stranded with no phone, no money, no charger.
Okay.
But
when we were at home, when we were here, I was like, alright, charge your phone. She was like, no, I'll take the portable charger. I'm like, alright, boys.
No, but the nurse never gave me my charger. That wasn't on like either of us. Like, she knew she had the responsibility to give like someone their charger, and she should have been like, oh, like they probably need it, you know, they're gonna need a ride home, they need to communicate with family. But she just kept my charger, you know. Yeah. That's kind of like not on him or me. Like, she knew she had it, like she knew she hadn't turned it in to anyone. She should have, like, you know, turned it in at some point. Like, I was there for almost 10 hours. I'm sure she had like plenty of time to give it to me. But yeah, I had to walk, and I walked for almost like 3 hours, huh? Yeah. Until you found me. But yeah, it was a whole ordeal. Lesson learned: charge your phone before you go anywhere, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, that was scary, and I really thought I was lost. Honestly, I thought I was lost. Like, I did not recognize where I was, huh? I was like crying, and then I'm telling Angel, and he thinks it's funny, and I'm like joking around, and I'm over here like in tears. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this story because it's already like so long. You have anything else to say? An apology would be great.
I already apologized.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.